Today, I would like to do a piece on the playoffs. I see the playoffs as maybe one of the biggest events this year in the NBA, National Basketball Association League. I see that this is going to be maybe up there with Lakers, Boston, Lakers, Magic had Lakers. I remember one time I went to the Mavericks game and I wanted to see Magic Johnson and I wanted to go to the game because when I was in Los Angeles, I'd never seen Magic Johnson play and I wanted to see him up close. So when I went to the Dallas game, I actually seen Magic Johnson up close. I think that's when Dallas Mavericks had Mike McGuire and they had a good team. And I really wanted to see Magic Johnson. I really wanted to see him up close because they call him Buck in Los Angeles. And I really wanted to see the passing and the ability that he had, one of the best guards ever produced in the United States that I wanted to see up close, and I had an opportunity to come to Texas and see Magic Johnson because the tickets wasn't that high. And while I was there at the Mavericks game, that's when they had the other stadium. And another time I was at that same stadium when they was doing the tractor pull, and they was doing the Mike Tyson and Michael Spinks fight. And I always wanted to see the Lakers play out of town, and they was playing the Dallas Mavericks, one of the biggest basketball teams back in the days. But I really have an opportunity to see this year out of Boston and Dallas. If I was to put my money on any one of these teams, I think I would go with Kyrie and the Mavericks, because not only that Kyrie has a ring already, he did it with one of the best basketball players in the United States, which is LeBron James. Now he have an opportunity to play with one of the best guards, off guards in Dallas, which is the guy that he's playing with, Vinsky, whatever his name is. And I think that with Kyrie's ability to penetrate and to not be matched by those guards. See, they would always try to put a bigger guard on a smaller man, but I don't think in this particular event they're going to have somebody to really stick Kyrie to be able to contain him and keep his scoring down and to keep his movement down. But I haven't had a really good opportunity to see both teams, but I know Boston has some good guys. But I know that Dallas has some good guys. I really think this is going to be, I think that this is more like the rivalry of Boston and when Larry Bird played and Magic Johnson. I really think this is going to be one of those big events of the year, and I think this might be for a few years. It depends where Kyrie go. If I had a chance to really guess who was going to win, I see they are evenly matched. I see that Mark Cuban have really put this franchise together after he hired the new general manager, this lady that broke it up as diversifying the actual franchise. I really want to concentrate on the power forward position. I know that Dallas has a lot of bench players. I know that Boston has a lot of bench players. I think they might be evenly matched. I think that a run to the championship really gave Dallas a run, because a lot of times people don't know that the run to the playoffs is a big thing, because you're playing these good teams and you're being challenged. If you never being challenged, you never be able to understand why that the championship is so elusive. That's why Charles Barkley had never won an NBA title. That's why a lot of people have gone down in history as playing in the finals, but they never won. It's a thing called win or go home. Now you finna see the years and the decades that Dallas have built this team, how Jason Kidd has one of the most brilliant minds in sports. Now you see that Mark Cuban was waiting for a guy like Jason Kidd to play in, the coach's team, because when Jason Kidd was there before, I think that he got into it with some guy over Tony Braxton. Now I see how Mark Cuban is a billionaire, and I see him on Shark Tank. And not only that he was on Shark Tank, he actually has the ability to put a team together and to put people together to play on his team. I have seen how he, every year after year, he have strategized, he have picked the right players, the right coaches, the right uniforms, the right atmosphere, the right locker rooms. But to give a heads up on Dallas, man, I don't think that Boston is gonna lay down, though. That's the only thing that I see, that Boston is not gonna lay down. Boston is a team that if you don't pay attention to them, they would slip right by you. They have some shooters, man, that I've really been looking at over the past few weeks that is really, really talented. I know they lost their coach last year on the thing about the Lone girl, Neil Lone, the coach. He's at Houston now. But I also noticed how he had those guys disciplined. And one thing about discipline, if you discipline yourself, then you won't have to get disciplined. And now I see that this is going to go down in history as one of the biggest finals it is. I don't think that any one of these teams is going to get swept, but I do think they're going to go to Game 7. I do think that Jason Kidd is going to have to use his ability and his. See, Jason Kidd been a star all his life. When he was in high school, Jason Kidd had a 15,000 fan following when he was in high school, and when he was in college, he was real good. And he was he had a couple of marriages, but he was in the college, he was real good. And when he was in pros, he was real good. Now he's a coach. He's gonna be, man. Ty Lue was a good coach. Now he's gonna go down in history as one of the best, one of the good coaches, as he win a championship, just like the girl just won a championship. I think she got 2 now. The girl from Carolina, she just won. But I really know Jason Kidd knows basketball. I really know that Jason Kidd actually knows the position. He knew how to pass real good. He knew how to dribble real good. And Jason Kidd has the thing, what you call peripheral vision. Peripheral vision is when you can see things behind you, or you can see things that the average person couldn't see. That's why Jason Kidd is one of the all-time leaders in assists. He's an all-time leader in the playoffs and different things like that. I don't think Jason Kidd ever won a championship, but Jason Kidd really understand what he's getting himself into. And if I had an opportunity to pick which team is going to win, I don't want to be able to be ostracized by not talking about Dallas and not talking about who's going to win the game. But at the end of the day, I wish I could bet, but I'm not a bet man. I'm going to give it to Dallas. And if Dallas win, that's just to prove that I was right. Stephen A, whatever it is, Dallas is going to win. All of these guys, Dallas.